How are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the NRL Round 7 tips and predictions. A big round of footy ahead over the long weekend. Obviously, we've got a couple of games on Good Friday. We've got Easter weekend. We've got the Easter Monday game coming up on Monday, the traditional Tigers Eels game. Should be a lot of fun this weekend. As a Cowboys fan, I'm quite pleased. Just going to sit back, enjoy the footy, enjoy the rest, have a nice weekend, maybe get some some lollies and some, packet of chips or something with some nice Coca-Cola to watch the footy all weekend and, yeah, see how it all goes. Should be a good time. Of course, guys, if you're new around here, do not forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate that. If you're a regular viewer, thank you very much for always tuning in. If you're new around here, I appreciate you for tuning in as well. Allow me to just adjust this camera for a moment, guys. My apologies. There we go. That should be a lot better. Also, as well, I just want to mention, if you guys have not checked out the vlog yet from the weekend, make sure you go and check it out. It was up yesterday around 5:30, so it's been up for nearly 24 hours now. Make sure you go and check out the vlog. I was in Perth for the very first time. Had a fantastic time over there. It was great to see the Cowboys get a win in Perth. 3 wins in a row now, going into a bye. And a massive thank you to everybody that tagged me on their Instagram story and saw me on TV as well. I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate it. But as always, I want to acknowledge the live chat before we go any further. Hello to Jason Reader. Hello to Will Pearson. Hello to Diggs_96. Bosky. Sharon Westrop. Hello to Bullseye. Hello to GTT. River. The J-Man in the chat. Hello, J-Man. SS Storm fan. Michael Driver. Hello, Michael. Good luck to your Manly Seagulls on Thursday night out there at Brookvale Oval. Look, Melbourne Storm fan, everyone that's here. Hope you guys are all doing well. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get to the tips. And it all kicks off Thursday night football from Brookvale Oval out there in Manly. It is the Manly Warringah Seagulls taking on the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Thursday night, 7:50 kickoff. Manly, they are $1.60 favourites here. The Dragons are at $2.30. Interesting game, this one. Obviously, Manly on the back of 2 losses. Obviously, don't want to lose 3 in a row. I've got the exact same team as last week. Now, Lachlan Croker actually was in the reserves last week. He went over to Perth. He isn't even named in the squad. So I don't know if he's picked up another injury, but no Lachlan Croker. As for the Dragons, they seem to be unchanged from last week's dominant win over the Gold Coast Titans. But keep in mind, Dylan Egan could start and Leilua could go back to the bench. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But interesting game this one, Manly and the Dragons. The Dragons do have a decent record against Manly. I think they're a bit of a bogey side for Manly. But you know what? Back at Brookvale Oval, let me rephrase that. Thank you to the live chat, Bosky. Tupolotti's out. Okay, so Feagai is in. That's right. Tupolotti went off the field at the end of last week's game. So Feagai's in for Tupolotti. The money man's out. Thank you, Bosky, in the live chat for that. Look, the Dragons do have a good record against Manly, and I know they're a bit of a bogey side for the Seagulls, but I think with it being back at Brookvale Oval, Thursday night football, Manly need to win. So I am going to tip Manly to win this game. I'm not confident, though. The Dragons are a genuine chance in this game. I would not be surprised if the Dragons got it done, but I am going to go Manly by 6. I think it will be a close game. Manly to beat the Dragons by 6 points on Thursday night. And for the first try scorer, I'm going to go with former Dragons junior Ruben Garrick to score the first try of the game. Manly by 6. But hey, it's Thursday night football. You never know what's going to happen. Moving on to Friday, and we have 2 games to look forward to. We start with the traditional Good Friday game at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon from Accor Stadium. It is the Bulldogs taking on the Rabbitohs. What a game. They're expecting about 70,000 for this game on Good Friday. That's interesting. It might even get to 80,000, but they're expecting somewhere between 60 to 80,000, somewhere in between there. Now, obviously, Bulldogs, they are the favourites at $1.30. The Rabbitohs are at $3.60. Now, for the Bulldogs, Matt Burton is back, which is a big inclusion, really big inclusion there for the Bulldogs. Also, William McKickow in the reserves for the Dogs as well, along with Blake Wilson. They could all be late inclusions. As for the Bunnies, Campbell Graham onto the wing for the injured Alex Johnson. Cody Walker is back from halfback, although they may be rushing Cody Walker. They did say 2 to 3 weeks. He's only been out for 1 game. So I think watch this space on Cody Walker. Lewis Dodd is also named on the bench. So Lewis Dodd could replace Cody Walker if Walker doesn't get through the week. Everything else looks to be the same. Kepi's named, but could be out due to suspension, which means Liam LeBlanc could come in, or maybe even Josh Schuster, which is interesting as well. But look, for me, I think Souths have every chance here, and you can't really write Souths off in this game, but the Bulldogs at the moment are a different breed. They're 5-0 to start the year. They had a week off last week. They get Burton back, maybe Kikau. The South Sydney Rabbitohs, I think they'll be competitive, but I just think the Bulldogs at the moment are just playing too good. So I'm going to go the Bulldogs to win this game, and I think the Bulldogs can win by around 14 points for me. So I'm going to go the Bulldogs by 14 in this game. I'm going to go Connor Tracy to score the first try in this one. But if the Rabbitohs win, I won't be surprised. The Wayne Bennett effect. We know how Wayne Bennett can just get the best out of his players, and they could knock off the Bulldogs here. But I think the Bulldogs will be too good. I think they'll be winning this game by about 14 points, and Connor Tracy to score the first try of the game. The other game on Good Friday is Friday night up there at Suncorp Stadium, and it is the Dolphins taking on the Storm. And the Dolphins have really turned a corner the last few weeks. Now, looking at the odds, the Melbourne Storm, they are $1.20 favourites. The Dolphins are at $4.40. So if you like the form of the Dolphins, if you like the momentum of the Dolphins, $4.40 is a good price for them. Now, the Dolphins team list. Saifidi is back. Did he play last week? I don't even remember, to be honest. Kenny Bromwich back in the reserves. Francis Mollo in the reserves. He could be a late inclusion. Would not surprise me at all. As for the Storm, Warbrick is out, so Sua Falongo goes on to the wing. Anderson goes to the centres. What else is happening here? Jerome Hughes is named at halfback, but could be touch and go. I guess that'll be a wait and see. Everything else looks to be the same. Look, I don't think you can tip against the Melbourne Storm in this game, but the Dolphins, for me, will be very competitive. I think the Storm will win, but they won't win by much, in my opinion. I think this will be a really, really good game of football. So I reckon Storm win. I reckon Storm win by about 10 points. First try scorer, I reckon Dolphins might score the first try. I'm going to go with Kulakefu Finifuiaki to score the first try in the back row. Finifuiaki hasn't scored a try yet this season. I think he can really take advantage on that right edge up against Sean Bloor. I think Finifuiaki is a better player than Sean Bloor, and I think he can, take him on and score the first try. So Vinny Furuaki to score the first try of the game. Storm win by 10, but it might be closer than what people think. I think Storm win, but only by 10 points. Moving on to Saturday now, and obviously 2 games on Saturday. And the first game is at 5:30 p.m. from Mount Smart Stadium over there in Auckland, or Go Media Stadium, whatever it's called nowadays. The Warriors taking on the Broncos. The Broncos, $1.45 favourites. The Warriors, $2.85. The Warriors have got a lot of changes, man. A lot of injuries. Chance is out. So, Tuapiki to fullback. Kossi on the wing. Kurt Capewell's in the centres for crying out loud. Jackson Ford's in the front row with Fisher Harris being ruled out with a pec injury. What else is going on here with the teams? Jacob Labin is on the bench. Tamari Martin's on the bench. They're all over the shop here, the Warriors with the team. All over the shop. As for the Broncos, Jesse Arthurs is all cleared from the HIA. Jordan Ricky in the back row with Jaden Hunt. Ben Takora. Martin Tapau's actually gone back to the reserves with Tyson Smoothie on the bench, which is interesting. Look, the Warriors in New Zealand are always a tough beat. Like, to go to New Zealand and win, it's not an easy task whatsoever. I was going to tip the Warriors. I was going to do it, only if the Broncos won last week, because I would have felt like the Warriors are due and the Broncos are due a loss. But with the Broncos losing last week and the Warriors team list does not look great whatsoever, I think Brisbane will bounce back on Saturday night. I think Brisbane will win. They could win well, and that wouldn't shock me. But I think the Broncos win by about 8 points. I think they'll win by about 8. I think they've got too many points for the Warriors at the moment, especially with Kurt Capewell in the centres. I don't like that. So Broncos by 8. First try score, I'm going to go with the Broncos dummy half. Corey Pakes to score the first try. I've been really impressed with his performances the last few weeks. So Corey Pakes to score the first try. Broncos by 8. And I think they'll be winning over there in New Zealand. Saturday night football. This game is at 7:35 p.m. from the beautiful Allianz Stadium. The Sydney Roosters taking on the Penrith Panthers. The Panthers are $1.70 favourites here. The Roosters are at $2.20. Now, Billy Smith is out for the Roosters. I'm not sure why. Maybe he's injured again, but Mark, or however you pronounce his last name, he is in the centres. Nat Butcher in the front row once again. The Dr. Clay on the bench as per usual. Chad Townsend back in the reserves. Oh, he's suspended, is he? Okay. Thanks for telling me that. And Spencer Leniu is on the bench as well. Spencer Leniu should be suspended for what he did to Jonathan Thurston last Friday night, but we won't get into that. How he is allowed to play after shoving a paid commentator, I don't understand how Leniu is even allowed to play. He should be suspended. I'm not even going to get into it any further. But anyway, as for the Panthers, Luke Garner goes to the centres with Isaac Tago to the bench. Still no Brian To'o, but Mitch Kenny is back. The Panthers look like their fullback looks a lot stronger this week, and I do like their bench. Look, I'll be honest here, guys. The Panthers have lost, 5 in a row? They need to bounce back. And look, their team on paper still might be a little bit vulnerable in certain areas, but the Roosters beat the Panthers back in round 2, and the Panthers would not have forgotten that game. And I think they will want to bounce back here, and I think the Panthers will win this game. And not only do I think the Panthers win, I think the Panthers win well. I think they bounce back in a big, big way. I think Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, Dylan Edwards, I think they've had enough of the crap that's been going on the last 5 weeks. I think they bounce back here. And I think they win quite well. I think they'll be too good. So I'm going to go the Panthers by about 16 points. I think they'll be too good for the Roosters here. Panthers by 16 points. I'm going to go Paul Alamotti on the wing to score the first try of the game. I think Penrith bounced back in a big way. Roosters had a big win last week. I don't think they'll back it up. They haven't backed up a win all season. I think Panthers, they just need to win one, and I think this is the game where they bounce back and they win well. So Panthers by 16, Alamotti, first try scorer. Moving on to Sunday and the first game at 2 o'clock on the Gold Coast. This should be interesting. Sunday, 2 o'clock, the Gold Coast Titans take on the Canberra Raiders, and the Raiders, they are $1.80 favourites. The Titans are at $2. So if you like the Titans at $2, very nice price there. Now, a couple of big ins for the Titans. Tino is back. He will start at jersey number 13. Fafita's in the starting side. Isaac Fasul Malawi is on the bench, along with Jamin Jolliffe. Still no Khan Pereira. He shouldn't be too far away. As for the Raiders, they look to be pretty much unchanged. Oh, hang on. Josh Papali goes to the bench. Corey Horsburgh will start. Morgan Smithies to jersey number 13, which I don't mind as well. And Danny Levi still can't get in the side. But I think this game on Sunday is going to be very entertaining. I think Titans-Raiders could be a very high-scoring game. Like, this could be the most high-scoring game of the weekend. So I think it'll be entertaining. But at the moment, you can't go against the Raiders. The Raiders are playing great footy. They're looking good. I think Canberra will win this game. I think it will be a high-scoring game. Titans are a chance, but for me, I'll go Raiders by 4. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. First try score, I'm going to go with Matt Timoko, or Matt Tomoko, however you pronounce it. I think he will score the first try at right centre. But yeah, Raiders to win, but the Titans could win. I would not be surprised if the Titans won, but for me, Raiders by 4. Matt Tomoko to score the very first try. The other game on Sunday, Easter Sunday, 4 o'clock from Newcastle, McDonald Jones Stadium. The Newcastle Knights take on the Cronulla Sharks, and the Sharks, they got a much-needed win over in Perth on the weekend, and that's for Newcastle. They can't score points at the moment. Sharks, $1.35 favourites. Newcastle, what are they, $3.35 on the odds. Now, Craig Marju is named. I don't know how he didn't get dropped. He had a stinker last week, and he's had a couple of bad games, I should say. Tyson Gamble comes in at halfback, with Crossan going back to hooker. Frizzell in the front row, that is pretty crazy. Matt Croker to 13. Tyrone Thompson on the bench. Yeah, they're all over the shop here, the Knights. They're very, very low on the front rows at the moment. And, Newcastle, man, they're getting low on front rowers. As for the Sharks, Hiroti still in the centres, still no Kayla Iro. Everything else seems to be unchanged for the Sharks. Look, for me, I think the Sharks win and win well, guys. Newcastle at the moment, there's no points in the Knights. Sharks, they got a very gutsy win over in Perth, and I think that's what they needed. I think they'll be too good here. So I'll go Sharks by 16 points up there in Newcastle. And first try scorer, I'll go Aiden Fanua-Blake. I feel like if he's going to score the first try, it might be against the Knights, a very weakened forward pack. Frizzell in the front row, very out of position. So Sharks by 16, Aiden Fanua-Blake to score the first try. And the final game of the round, Easter Monday, the public holiday, the traditional game. The West Tigers versus the Parramatta Eels. The Tigers are $1.70. The Eels are at $2.15. This is so hard to pick because the Tigers, what an absolute disaster last 24 hours. Lachlan Galvin said he's leaving. He's been completely dropped. Jerome Luai took a shot at on him on his Instagram story. Other Tigers players, apparently Luai and Coruscant went to Benji and said, we don't want him in the side. He's not even in the squad. So that whole thing is out of hand. The Tigers, just when you think they're going well and they've turned a corner, all this drama blows up in their face. And as for Parramatta, they are welcoming back their halfback and leader, Mitchell Moses. The question is he coming back too early? I don't know. Simonson's also there on the wing. He was there last week. Jack Williams in the front row. Kelma Talangi goes to the second row. Parramatta's bench is quite good with Walker, Moretti, that young Tuivasa fella. Don't mind them at all. Ryan Madison, for me, needs to be in the Eels side. Everything else looks pretty good. Probably the best Eels team they've named all year, to be honest. Look, the Tigers can win. I don't like doing it at halfback. I really don't. I think Parramatta are going to win, guys. I'm going to do it. Parramatta are going to win this game. The Tigers gave them a bit of a hiding back in round 2. I think Parramatta bounced back here. Moses is back. I like Parramatta in this game, guys. So I'm going to go Parramatta to beat the Tigers by 6 points. First try scorer, I'm going to go with former West Tigers player who's playing back row for the Eels this weekend, Kelma Tulangi, to score the first try of the game. But I think Parramatta will win this game. I really do. So Parramatta to beat the Tigers. Now, we'll go through the tips again real quick, guys, and then we'll get on out of here. So we're going to go Manly to beat the Dragons 1-12 on Thursday night. We're going to go Bulldogs to win 13+ over the Rabbitohs. Storm 1-12 over the Dolphins. Broncos 1-12 over the Warriors. Panthers 13+ over the Roosters. Raiders 1-12 over the Titans. Sharks 13+ over the Knights. And the Eels to win 1-12 on Monday. Anyway, they're my tips for the round of footy. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, guys. Make sure you go and check out the vlog if you haven't already from the Rabbitohs Cowboys game over on Perth over the weekend. The vlog's out. Check it out. Leave a comment. Let me know your tips in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Cowboys TV podcast with Callan. Anyway, take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.